Okay, let me tell you about the midterm exam and how to prepare for it. The study guide for the midterm is a homework assignment on WebAssign. So go to the midterm exam review on WebAssign, and there are 12 problems there. I base my exam roughly on that homework assignment. Now, it's not graded in WebAssign, but you can still submit it, and WebAssign will tell you if you're getting the right answers. It just won't count towards your class grade. Now, you're used to the quizzes for this class, and my quizzes are like 95% to 100% similar to the WebAssign homeworks. My midterm is not as similar. I would say about 80% similar. So the idea, my philosophy for writing exams is that if you are able to if you're kind of able to reproduce those homework problems and do the computations, that's a level for a B. Now, if you're able to additionally do some conceptual explanations like we do in the tutorials, and extend your thinking, use your physics knowledge slightly above and beyond what's covered in the problems, then that's A-level exam work. So if you're able to do all the review problems accurately, that's a B. And for that A, what you also need to think about is explaining your work, explaining your process. So let's say that a problem, one of these typical homework problems might have 3 questions in it. Calculate the force on some object, calculate its acceleration, find its displacement after some time. Now, I might put a 4th question in that problem where I ask you to explain your process. And you would write an explanation like you do in the tutorials, and you'd say, well, for this problem I identified my unknown as the acceleration, and I used a process of Newton's second law and drew a free body diagram and so on. Other times I might ask you to explain one of the concepts used in the problem. So if it's a collision problem, I might ask you to explain what we mean by impulse. And you would write me an explanation saying, well, impulse is when a force is applied to an object for some amount of time, and that results in the object's momentum changing. And you could say that's called the impulse momentum theorem. So for each of the questions on the review guide, think about the concepts involved and whether you understand them and can explain them, and think about the process that you're using to solve the problem, and think about whether you could explain what process you did. And if you can do those things, then now you're going to be prepared to get an A on the exam.